Welcome to the Jacqueline Hayes Show. Empowered you, empowered living. She talks with amazing people, has amazing conversations, and hopes of helping you experience amazing joy, meaning, and purpose in your life. The Jacqueline Hayes Show is dedicated to helping people feel empowered, strong, valued, and joyful. On the show, we'll talk about what inspires, challenges, moves, and shapes us, and hopes that it will do the same for you. Our conversations will be lively, purposeful, and fun. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
Hi friends, good day. Welcome to the Jacqueline Hayes Show. I hope you are well. We're so excited about today's episode of the Jacqueline Hayes Show. As you know, it is my priority and commitment to bring amazing people to the show, to have amazing conversations about information that will help you feel more empowered, more strong, more amazing in your life. And today's guest on the Jacqueline Hayes Show, you guys, sit back, sit up, get your notepads, and take copious notes, because today's guest is going to share some really good information with you regarding health, wellness, nutrition, and well-being. And I am super thrilled about today's guest. So I would like to introduce you to Marta Cordell. Hi. With Thermography Center of Dallas. I guess I should have just done the title and everything together, right? Yeah. So let me do this. Let me tell you a little bit about Marta, and then we'll get into our conversation, because I've got so many questions for Marta, and I just want her to share her wisdom, her knowledge with you guys, because it is going to be a game changer for you. I had the opportunity to visit with Marta last week, and just from my experience, I was just like, she is totally amazing, incredible, and she loves what she does. And first of all, before I reach your body, I have to say thank you for just creating such a warm, rich, and wonderful experience during my appointment with you last week.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you made it to see us,
yeah,
and really enjoyed hanging out with you that day too. So
let me tell you who Marta is so we can get into it. So Marta Cordell is a holistic health practitioner, certified health and nutrition coach, education director of the Thermography Center of Dallas, and owner of Full Bloom Wellness Solutions. With the deep knowledge of nutrition and holistic health practices, her mission is to educate people in order to reconnect them with their body's inner wisdom. And her passion is for helping people achieve their own personal vision of wellness by giving them the tools. You guys listen, the tools and the knowledge they need to empower them to take charge of their own health. Again, welcome Marta Cordell with Thermography Center of Dallas to the Jacqueline Hayes Show.
Thank you.
Pretend like those guys. So Marta, there's so many directions I can go with this conversation. However, I'm going to do my best to keep it in one lane so that whoever's listening will just kind of stay with this. So why don't you tell our audience, our listeners, in terms of how you got started in wellness, and tell us about the Thermography Center, and just tell us who you are in your own words.
Thank you. So I actually, my background and my education is in nutrition. And so nutrition has always been my passion, and so I've spent most of my life studying nutrition and also holistic wellness practices, and just really enjoyed doing that. Now, I also had some of my own health challenges, and it took me a really long time to get the answers that I needed. And this is one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about what we do, because it gets people the answers that they need. Yeah. You know, I can remember going to doctors and doctors. Me too. And getting nothing. You know, and I knew there was something wrong.
Exactly.
But I couldn't put my finger on it, and I actually had people tell me, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to get that out of your head and move on with your life,
right? Honey, it's not in my head. It's something going on in my body.
Something's
not right.
Something's not right.
Something's not right.
So my biggest mission in life is to help people shorten that learning curve.
Right.
You know, if I can shorten that learning curve for somebody and help them get the answers that they need, so that they can actually start working on their issues.
Right. At the core level, right?
At the core level.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, I love it. We have that in common in terms of how I feel about my health and wellness and well-being. Like, that's a top priority in my life, is to make sure I take care of myself. Like, that's my responsibility, I feel. And just, I can recall just 21 years ago, just the frustration of going to the doctor saying, hey, something's not right here. And it's like, well, we don't see anything. The tests look fine. However, we'll give you these meds. Right. Well, we'll prescribe something for you. We can't find anything, but we'll write a prescription for you. Right. It's like weird, right?
We'll be happy to give you a prescription for what we don't know is wrong with you.
Right, which is so bizarre.
It is.
And it creates this level of frustration, which I think is a huge opportunity to direct your attention within, because you're thinking, okay, you're telling me you can't find anything, but I am clear something's not right in my body, right?
Yes.
And so that's how I really got started with changing my eating habits, practicing meditation, and asking like the source that created me, which is God, like, please help me identify what's going on with me, how to correct it at a core level. And just like you, as when I talk to women, is how can I share with them just tools they can use to take responsibility for their health and to get in a state of wellness and well-being.
Yeah, and that's a really important concept, because we've been so trained over the years to go to the doctor, and the doctor's the expert, and you just rely on what the doctor says, and if they say take this, you take this, and if they say go home and do something else, then, And so this is a way for us to take back control of our health.
Right.
So that we don't have to rely on someone else to tell us you need to do this or you need to do that. We can go into our practitioners and say, this is what my body needs.
Right.
How do we address that? So it comes from a place of power rather than of dependence.
Right. And just to make a clear disclaimer, like we're not saying physicians are bad. We're just saying that being armed with information when you go to your health practitioner, where you're empowered to have a different conversation, right?
Absolutely.
It just makes a difference. So I want to make clear.
We need our practitioners.
We do.
We need our physicians.
We totally do.
So because they can help us to address the situation, but we have to know what the situation is to begin with.
Right. Yeah. So you had your own health experience. Your background's in nutrition, health, and wellness. And so kind of tell us what you went through in terms of discovering or just going through your own health and healing journey. What were some of your aha moments, opportunities that really got your attention, that really strengthened your passion to do what you do today?
Yeah, so one of the biggest turning points for me was actually about 13 years ago. I got a thermogram, So I began working with Dr. Einson, who is our founder. And Dr. Einson has been working in holistic medicine for about the last 30 years.
Okay.
He's studied all over the world, and he actually went to Europe to study thermography, which is kind of how we got started. But 13 years ago, I went and got my own thermogram. And the information that I got from it was so incredibly helpful. And it started me off down the path of resolving my health issues. And so it's something that I'm very passionate about because I know how much it can help.
Right.
Because I've had that personal experience with it. So I have spent the last 13 years, I get my thermogram at least every year.
At least every year, okay. Yes. It's a very thorough, very comprehensive exam, right? You guys, I had my thermogram at the Thermography Center of Dallas last week, and it's a very comprehensive report, and Marta was there through the entire process. And what's so good it is because I really practice taking good care of myself, right? But then there are opportunities where you could be missing some things, right? I have a plant-based diet. I try to stay calm for the most part. My life is super crazy, but I do try to make sure, like from a mental, spiritual, emotional space, that I nurture myself in good ways to make sure that I'm healthy and strong. And what I really liked about the first of all, the process was easy to do, and that it was very comprehensive in terms of the report I received. Just covered so many areas of my body, right, and brought to my attention things that were there opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
And then to sit with you to get your feedback, to walk me through the report was super helpful and just an eye-opening experience for me. So I would say to any woman or any individual listening, if you would like a very thorough, comprehensive, in-depth view of your health and your situation, go to the Thermography Center of Dallas, right? I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so what thermography is basically a functional diagnostic tool. So we're used to structural diagnostic tools, so things like MRIs, CAT scans, mammograms, things like that are actually looking at the tissues. So they're kind of taking pictures of the tissues.
Okay.
So we're deciding, is there something growing there? Is there not something growing there? Right? But that's really all that can tell you.
Okay.
So it can't tell you why it's growing there. And also it can't tell you that something is about to be growing there. So very often we can see small changes in the tissues 7 to 10 years before they come up on other testing, before they even become symptomatic. So very often we can see these things on a very early basis and say, you're starting to move in the direction of having an issue in this area of your body. And so this gives us the opportunity to start to correct that issue before the body even goes down that path, before anything ever starts growing there.
Okay, before there are any symptoms at all regarding an issue, you can cut it off before it actually becomes an issue, or just address it, I guess, before it becomes an issue, right?
Yes. And the beautiful thing is that there's nothing that we find on the thermogram that can't be corrected.
That is so great. Yeah.
So if we find that one part of the body or another is needing support, we can absolutely give the body some support. And so we can help the body move back in that direction of wellness. And that's the main thing, is really finding the root causes of what's going on and helping the body to resolve those root causes so that everything else clears up as well.
And I like how you guys have a focus or premise on addressing the root causes of issues instead of treating the symptoms.
Yeah, and that's the foundation of functional medicine. So if your listeners are not familiar with functional medicine...
So tell us what it is, functional medicine.
So that's kind of the difference.
Okay.
So we're not waiting until the body is having an issue.
So that's diagnostic kind of in that, traditional diagnostic in a perspective. Okay.
Yes, and so what we're doing is we're actually testing how the body is functioning. So how are the tissues functioning? How are the organs functioning? Are they struggling? Are they working really, really hard? And then looking at what are the root causes of that.
Okay.
So if you're having digestive issues, for example, what is the root cause of that? If you're having lymphatic issues, if you're having all kinds of different issues with organs, with any kinds of tissues, the breast report itself is phenomenal because it tells us what are all the contributing factors to the breast health. So it doesn't just tell us, are the breasts healthy or are they not? It tells us, what can we do to affect a change so that they become even more healthy?
Yeah.
So
and
it gives us that proactive approach.
I like it. I like how the lymphatic system is very much involved with breast health and wellness.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest missing pieces for people. This is the only test that I'm aware of that tests the lymphatic system, that really assesses how well it's working. So, and if your lymphatic system is not working well, then the rest of your body's not working well either.
Yeah.
So it's part of your detoxification pathways. It's also part of your endocrine system, and it's part of your immune system. So it hits on so many different things. And then it also functions in conjunction with the cardiovascular system. So it actually parallels the cardiovascular system throughout the body. And it doesn't have its own pump, so it relies on our own movement and things like that to keep it moving.
Fascinating.
But yeah, the lymphatic system is hugely important and very fascinating.
Yeah. So let's have a conversation, Marta. Let's say we've got women listening. I was on a podcast long ago talking about what happens when I turned 40. It seems like my body just joined another team or something. I felt like it was betraying me. I was thinking, what is going on with me? I'm experiencing hair loss. I can't lose weight. I was just like, my body is betraying me. I don't know what to do. My hormones were all over the place, and I kept going to the doctor, and the doctor's like, you're fine. Your levels are good. You're fine. And I was like, I'm
just so frustrated.
I'm so not right.
Yeah.
And so, again, taking a deeper dive in terms of taking a look at my hormone levels and just understanding how to make the body alkaline, what it means when a body is acidic versus being alkaline, and the importance of quality sleep, quality rest, and tapping into, like, meditation changed my life completely, right?
Yes.
Thank God for meditation, because it's a big game changer. It's not a religious thing. It's a practice that can take your life to a whole new level. I'm a living witness, because I'm a thinker, I'm a dreamer, and I'm like a go-getter. However, there's this side of me where my mind is super active.
Yes.
I'm like, there's this conversation going on all the time. And so I was like, okay, well, what's with all the chatter in my mind? And is it healthy chatter? And just being able to practice meditation, be able to put some space between thoughts and kind of break the loops, break the chain. So I know we look at what you do in terms of wholeness and wellness. I would imagine that meditation is a component that you would recommend clients to consider as well?
Oh, absolutely. I recommend that for everybody. And for a lot of people, they say to me, I can't meditate. I can't make myself meditate. I can't sit still long enough. I can't be quiet long enough. You don't have to. All you have to do is breathe.
Breathe.
So that deep breathing is the foundation of meditation. So if you're deep breathing like that, all you have to do is close your eyes for a couple of minutes and do some deep breathing. And that is the beginnings of meditation.
So if you guys are listening and watching, if you want to just start a meditation practice, make it really simple, just practice breathing.